Welcome to Charting Cryptos and Commodities. Of course, we have seen Bitcoin get hammered again and, of course, trashing out the entire crypto market with it. Why? Because it's the big mover. And when you have crypto exchanges like FTX go down, what can you expect to happen? Well, you can expect to see what we saw over the last 3 weeks, as things were now in the 4th week after things really hammered down, dropping to a new recent low level for us. Things rebounding some for the day, up 4 or 5%. But what does that mean after you've gone down from 60-something thousand? Again, I am waiting for market capitulation. I did that for you earlier in this week. I'm excited about crypto exchanges exploding. Why? As I've talked about for months, I don't believe in those things. If I'm going to mess around with Bitcoin, why would I not want to go to something like XBTF that I can buy at my online broker? You can practice trade this whenever the opportunity presents itself. It's so much easier and safer to do. Now, when I say safe, I'm talking about somebody not robbing you. Could there be problems with it? Yes, there could, but much less likely when it's being traded in the active market and not through some crypto exchange out of the country, off the planet, being traded in Pluto, wherever it might be, by Martians. Again, I don't mess with that. I've encouraged you to practice trade the way you might really trade at some point in the future by using something like XBTF. Now, again, I'm not giving you market advice. I'm just telling you what seems to make sense to me and what I would encourage you to practice trade. We're not a stock calling service, not a Bitcoin calling service, not a gold 20-year bond calling service. We're an education firm. And again, think about what you're doing and why. Practice trade the way you hope to trade in the future. I don't see anything on Bitcoin right now. I'm waiting for it. Maybe it'll go down to 10,000 a Bitcoin. I don't care. I sold my last Bitcoin many, many months ago. For the dummies that have held on to Bitcoin as it has precipitously dropped, I say, who would catch that falling knife and just watch? Well, again, if you've got your money tied up somewhere and you can't get it out, I guess that's all you can do is watch. Watch and bleed makes no sense. If it weren't crypto, who else would hold anything as it crashes like this? Well, it's going to recover. Yeah, that's what they said back there in March of this year. Oh, it's going to recover. That's what we heard again in July. And of course, we just saw things track down, down, down. Let it crash. Let it hit the bottom. And then when it starts to move up, we'll be ready. Let's move on. Where are we with Ethereum? Well, it looks similar, doesn't it? Why does it look that way? As I've said over and over, Bitcoin is the tide coming in the harbor. Everything else are the boats tied up to the dock. And when Bitcoin crashes, again, it tends to pull everything down. If we look at BITW, that is, again, this shows you the entire crypto market, top 10, not the entire crypto market, but the top 10 weighted as per market share. And what do we see going on? Well, you can tell, we'll stretch this out a little bit for you, just how much things have gone down, and continue to go down. The entire crypto market affected, again, by Bitcoin getting hammered. And we'll just continue to watch, wait and see as things move along. It's going to take a while, most likely, but once Bitcoin finally bottoms out and nobody wants to buy it, that's when the folks who know how the market really works and they see capitulation and all the little people just go bankrupt, get out of it, forget about it, and then slowly but surely it'll probably start to recover. Now, maybe it's gone forever. I doubt it. And we'll wait, watch, and see. Doesn't cost us anything to check it out once a day or once a week and just see when and if it recovers. Let's leave crypto in its crypt for the time being, and we'll go to commodities. Look at this hot one. This is silver. Silver's been in the doldrums for a while, but we noticed that on the weekly chart, it went from red to green many weeks ago, hit up close to the 200 EMA, and lo and behold, starting back on the week beginning the 7th of November, then the 14th of November, then the 21st of November, and the 28th of November, pushing through that 200 EMA. Is that not beautiful? We look at where we are on the 2-day, hitting up on it today in the green there. And my friends, check out the half-day chart. What happened this morning? Silver went from red on the half-day chart to green, a plus 15. Is that not pretty? How high will silver go? I don't know. Is up for the day overall 4.45%. That's rather nice to see. The precious metal, not the most precious one. Well, I guess gold's not the most precious. That'd probably be platinum. But we're waiting for gold also to give us a trigger. But it's nice to see silver triggered today. Going through more commodities, what was up next as high as silver today for the ones we track was the gasoline fund. But you hear people talking about gas is going crazy. Well, for the last many weeks it was going down, then sideways. The last 2 weeks popping, wrong. Gas been going down for 3 weeks and popping up over the course of this week some 4.05% for today. But it has been going down significantly lately, as evidenced by the half-day chart, and then popping up over the course of this week a little bit. But what I wanted to basically stress with gas is we saw where it had hit its high and then rolled off that. And you hear people talking about gas. It's not affordable. Well, you know, it's nowhere near the high that it was back in June. And of course, most recent high, end of October. And for the month of November, for the most part, going down except for the last couple of days. And still a good bit off that high. So when you hear people talk on the news about everything that's happening, go check out the commodities themselves to see what's really going on. Now let's look at copper. Copper had lost down, and again, where's copper? It's used in industry, that kind of stuff. We can see where things really bottom out in copper back in July, mid-July. And then up a little bit, down a little bit, and over the last few weeks, again, trying to trend back up over this 200 EMA. So we'll keep an eye on copper and see where it's going. Give us some idea as to what's going on with industry well off those prior highs. How about oil overall? Again, oil up some for the day, 2.25%, but for the last 3 weeks, again, it even dropping off nowhere near those prior highs back in June. How about wheat? People being able to afford to eat. Wheat hit highs way back in May, mid-May, and of course it's well off that and continues to trend down. So that's good to see. Coffee. Again, coffee down for many, many weeks, recovering a little bit over the course of this week as it has pushed through the 200 EMA on that weekly chart. We talked about gold poised for things to potentially cross over going up on this half-day chart, maybe giving us a jumping in point. What about sugar? Sugar, again, reached a high, back in November? And again, here we go. Yeah, it did reach its most recent high back in November, but the real high, where sugar peaked up super high, was back in April, and of course, pulled down a good bit since then, almost hitting the 200 EMA. Last few weeks, we can see where sugar went up, and then it's sort of pulling off a little bit of that. Soybeans, again, you think about humans, feedstock that live off soybeans. We can see where soybeans have sort of been just sliding sideways for many, many weeks. A good bit above the 200 EMA on this weekly chart and not too far below their prior highs. But again, just keeping an eye on it. Corn, we can see where, corn hit its high, rolled way off of it, peaked up, and then sort of down trotting again. And lastly, we look at Natural gas. Isn't this interesting? With all you hear with the conflict in Ukraine and the world prices and people being unable to heat their homes, maybe it's because they just can't get it. But as far as the price goes, I'm trying to figure that one out. I mean, it peaked back in August and it's well off that below the 200 EMA, which again doesn't lead me to believe that there's any great pressure on the availability of it or on the price. So again, interesting to see. So hopefully, if you're tracking these things with us and looking at them, you have a good feel for what's really happening in the world. Maybe you're occasionally finding a potential commodity to practice trade, maybe a silver, maybe a gold, maybe you're looking at oil, or you're looking at times at other things, wheat. I'm just trying to think what I've traded over the last many, many months. Again, opportunities abound. I encourage you to practice what you're interested in. And when you hear things going on in the news and you want to know what's really happening, check out what the price is. The price is not the hype. The price is reality. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.